Welcome back. Companies making video games, autonomous vehicles and generative AI are among those that have been shortlisted by Bloomberg and Founders Forum as the 25 European tech startups to watch. Among them is Quantexa, whose AI-driven data crunching software helps companies and organisations interpret information from across their businesses, identifying areas of underperformance and even potential fraud. The founder and CEO of Quantexa, Vishal Marria, is with me now in the studio. And Vish, you recently raised $175 million US. You've been raising capital pretty successfully. This was an Series F raise. You're valued at about $2.6 billion. So you are one of the most valuable startups in the UK. What are you doing with that cash? How are you deploying it?
Thank you, Tom, and great to be on set again this morning. As part of our plans when it comes down to growth, investing into our platform, into our capabilities has been at the forefront since we started Quantexa. In 2016, we were groundbreaking in how we contextualize data, in how we provide insights in that data to support our clients. And that mission has been forthcoming from inception of Q. Since closing Series F and even previously, we've been on a journey not just around innovation, around the absorbing of generative AI into the platform, but also in areas like M&A, as well as both tactical tuck-ins, but also areas around strategic investments and partnerships. So the investment is being used right across the breadth of the company. Yeah. If it's around innovation, if it's around supporting our clients in the adoption of AI, but also in strategic areas in M&A and so on. OK, so M&A is potentially in the cards for you as well. You've made an acquisition in the past, so maybe you'll pull the trigger on some more acquisitions. I want to talk about the growth that you guys have seen, because you came through with $100 million in terms of annual recurring revenue in 2024. What is that picture looking like? Because the macroeconomics have changed. That there is this global slowdown in growth. We're not in recessionary territory, but things have slowed, and we know that corporates are kind of cutting their budgets. Are you seeing any impact in terms of the demand for your products? So, since again starting Quantexa, we've been very focused on our clients. Everything we do at Quantexa, we put the client at the centre to our innovation, to our deployments, to our thought leadership, etc. Now, last year we announced exceeding 100 million in annual recurring revenue of our software. Yeah. And we continue to see growth on the ARR. We closed a record-breaking Q4. So we're a March to March financial year. We had a record-breaking Q4 on the number of deployments of Quantexa across the enterprises, but also in annual recurring revenue. And now where we sit today, we are suppressing the over 125 million of ARR and continue to grow that number at speed. But ARR is just one of our unit economics. Yeah. We've got to look at things around net retention rate. So this will be when a client is using the platform, how quickly are they expanding? And again, we are 120% plus on the net retention rates. So it's not just the speed of new logos and new deployments, but also in areas of expansion of our platform.
And your clients range from the NHS here in the UK in terms of the health provider, but also financial services, some big banks, including HSBC. How is AI changing the fight against fraud? Because this is a big piece of the services that you offer, the fight against fraud, know your customer. How is AI changing the fight against fraud? Is this an arms race you're in right now?
So I will call it less of an arms race per se. AI is transforming every single process in every single organization. How you go to market, how do you procure new clients, to how you manage risk. In all of these areas, AI is transforming. Now, the way we've gone about deploying our platform, to get the best out of AI, it fundamentally comes to trusting data. If you can't trust data, all of the models you apply on top of that fabric simply will not make sense. So since starting Q and the journey we've been on, the ability to connect silo data, the ability to contextualize data, and then to feed this contextual fabric into AI models are proving to our clients to make better decisions. So coming back to your question, every organization is looking at AI, and it's at board level conversation. But more organizations that are finding the value of AI have invested or continue to invest in their data fabric. And if you don't invest in that data layer, those AI models are only going to be as good as the data you provide it.
we were talking about the G7 summit that's taking place in Canada this week, and leaders have been landing there. We know that trade is going to be part of the conversation, and in a time of tariffs that continue to be adjusted and moderated. The impact on corporates, the impact on your clients from this changing tariff regime, what are you seeing? Because you have an eye on global trade. What are you seeing, and how are you able to help these companies kind of mitigate some of that uncertainty?
So, since export controls, since tariffs, it has absolutely shocked the system again. Right. So again, if I look at the journey of Quantexa, we've gone through, Brexit, we've gone through COVID, we've gone through 2, if not 3 active wars now, we've gone through high interest rates. Every 2 or 3 years, or every 1 year, or every 6 months, there's now a shock to the system. And that shock in this case around tariffs is absolutely changing patterns of behavior when it comes to trade. New corridors are being formed, bigger corridors are being excelled. So this view of trade is really paramount when it comes down to finding risk, but also finding opportunity. And one thing here at Quantexa, and we're very privileged to be supporting all of our partners around this, we monitor over 60% of world trade goes through my platform every single day. So those patterns, those typologies, when it comes down to risk, if it's fraud or money laundering risk or sanctions risk, but also opportunities, our clients are getting substantial value, again, around connecting data. But those typologies you apply across that fabric becomes very powerful.
OK, Vish, thank you very much indeed for coming to the studio bright and early. Vishal, Marria, founder and CEO of Quantexa.